to introduce SIMnet for those that haven't used it before. I have up here an example class. Now I have many classes because I'm an instructor, but this is just one class. And you can see some different things open here. And these are depending on dates. And the due date does not actually mean the due date. You need to check with your instructor. Sometimes the due date is the day that it actually closes and is no longer available to you. So as an instructor, we sometimes don't have control over these things. But the way I like to look at SIMnet is one item at a time. So you see up here it says exam, SimBook, project. These are the same things over here. So if I click over here, I can look at what SimBooks are open and available to me, what exams do I have scheduled, what projects are due. There's no SimPaths, there's no group stuff. There's lessons, but there's no lessons here in this class right now. They're turned off. But lessons are very similar to SimBook chapters. But a SimBook chapter, and I'm just going to open this chapter in a minute, but a SimBook chapter is just like a book. It's the pages of a book. A lesson might be the instructor, instead of having you read 40 pages of the SimBook, might pull out 20 or 22 of the things in that book and pull it together in one lesson. So it's often, it looks like a SimBook, but it's slightly different because the teacher decided what pages you need to read. So you have to be careful what the instructor assigns to you, a lesson or a SimBook chapter. So I'm going to open a SimBook chapter here. And this is the book that it is, that I can also find up here in the library. Here are the pages of this first chapter because I said open chapter 1. And you can see that there are some things that you get points for and some things you don't. So some things you're just reading. In my class, we don't do the pause and practice because I haven't, for this class, I haven't downloaded all the pause and practice files. But some teachers have you do all of those. So, you know, even though there's no points, your teacher might give you points for those or tell you this is how you practice for the test. So you can see there's things, and once you do them, you'll start getting a check mark here. And you'll get a check mark even in the things that say no points because you read that page. So I can click on one of these pages and it opens up that book, or I can open the book here. And so you can see there's 26 pages, but there's not 26 things to do. And most of the end of the chapter stuff we don't do. So I'm going to open this SimBook. So here it says chapter 1, creating and editing documents. And here's what you'll learn in this chapter. And you have to scroll down and you have to read through the book. So I'm going to turn the page. And there's more things to read. If you see, if your cursor changes into the hand with the finger, you can click on this and it opens up something else. And so then you could say show in glossary, and now the glossary is going to open up. I'm going to close that. And the contents of the chapter are right here too. This is the same thing we saw on the outside, all of the things. And you can see we read that first page, so now look, I have a check mark. All right, so at this point, there's a show me, a guide me, and a let me try. In my class, and this is not all classes, but in my class, the show me and the guide me are for you to do, but you have to do the let me try so that I know that you've looked at this object and you know how to do this. So show me is just a movie, just like you're watching now. Just sit back and watch the video guide. A guide me is a step-by-step. So it'll have you do something and it'll say click here and you have to click. And then it'll tell you to now type this sentence and you type that sentence. But the let me try, you have to do, and it'll just give you directions. And the let me try is very similar to what the testing environment is like. So you can see on this page there are 3 let me tries. So I'm going to do this first one so you can watch. And notice this little arrow is going to change to a check mark when we get done. So let me try. Open the backstage view. So I know that's the backstage view. Correct, advance to the next step. Create a new blank document. Well, I think it wants me to open a new blank document. Correct, I've successfully completed this task. So I click, and now my check mark has gone from the arrow to there, to a check mark. So then I go down to the next one. And of course, I read through what it says, so I'm learning. And then I say, let me try. Because if you read through and you don't know how to do this or how it wants you to do it, it won't allow you and you'll get the error message, okay? So I'm going to exit out of this chapter or this page. And my let me try didn't show, but I do have this check, okay? So you would go on and on and on. All right, so I'm going to close this chapter. Yes, I want to exit. I don't lose anything. It remembers that I did it. You can see here. And I did one of the 3 things on that page. So I don't get a check mark because I haven't done all 3. So I can go back to assignments. And it's the same for lessons. I'm sorry I don't have a lesson turned on, but and that's about it. The other thing is a project. All right, so projects. I'm going to click on this project because I have the documentation already. Well, you can see I've already done this one with my class. So the thing about projects are, let me go back to assignments for a minute. So the lessons, the sim books, and the exams, and sim paths are all web-based. So they're all you do them through your browser. The projects you have to do in the application itself. For this, for example, we have to do it in Word here. So this says Word 2016. Do I have to use 2016? No, but I have to use 2013 or 2016. Or I can use a Mac and 2016. So I have to know what kind of computer I'm working on. So I know I'm working on Office for Windows, so I'm going to use this 2016. And these are the instruction files, and then the start file is the actual Word document itself. This is going to be a PDF. And best practices, the first time you open a project, it has 2 pages of best practices. So please read through those and make sure you understand. So I'm going to click on this. I've already downloaded it and I have it open, but I'll show you what it looks like. It's just a PDF. And it opens up to something like this, and I've already printed this out. So I'm going to open the start document and work through a couple of things, and then I'm going to upload my file. You can see I've uploaded it twice, and the first time I didn't get everything right. I was missing a few points, so I did it again, and I uploaded it a second time, and then I got 100%. So in my class, I allow up to 3 uploads. Every teacher is going to be different. So I'm going to open this Word document, open with Word, and it's probably in, I have to put it in edit view, and it says read only, and one of the first things it asks you to do is to save it somewhere. So I'm going to save this to, I'm just going to put it on the desktop for a minute. And you'll notice it automatically put my name there. So this will automatically put your name in it. So I'm going to put it there. And here, my name's up here also, you'll notice. Okay. So it tells me that there's directions. It says, so I have to change the font and the font size and some other things. So I'm going to select the entire document, and for me, I go into the selection bar area and I triple click. I could hit Control A, which is also select all, and they want this to be Cambria 10 point. So this is Calibri, and I want Cambria. I can type Cambria in there, or I can look for it. Cambria 10 point. So I tend to use these font up and font down. You can use what you want. But anyway, 10 point. And I need to change the after spacing of the paragraphs. So the after spacing is every time this P, you hit the enter key and you go to a new line, the Microsoft default in 2016 is 8 point. In 2013, it's 10 point. But these directions want us to change all of that after to 6 points. So I say okay, and change the line spacing to single. Oh, I could have done that in there. I could have changed it to single. It's funny, we get used to doing things a certain way. I would come up here and I would do single space up there. All right, and then there's a lot of other things I need to do with this, but this is the project. I'm going to save it over what I just did. So the only thing I changed is basically the first 3 things in the directions. So now, if I was done, then now I would want to upload my file and have it graded. So I'm going to upload it, and it's on, oh yeah, it was on the desktop, and it was named this. So I'm going to say open, and it'll ask me, do I want to save it or do I want to have it graded? So I'm going to say, and I've only done one thing, so I really should say no, I'm not ready, and I should wait, but I'm going to say yes, submit the file. So you can see what happens when it grades it. Preparing, it should be horrible. So I got 16%. So here's what it looks like. I have partial credit and totally incorrect. So this is not my document that I turned in here. This is what it should look like. So these are all the things I haven't done. Right, and you can see I haven't done a lot. So I'm going to, I could download my submitted file and keep working on it. And then I could upload it again. I'm going to go back to here. And so I've done it 3 times, so it's not going to allow me to upload it again. But as an instructor, I can delete this. You don't have this option. Sorry, that's because I'm a teacher. So that's the project in SIMnet. I forgot one thing. I forgot to tell you about resources, which are pretty important. So the resource area is where the instructor can upload information for you, almost like a learning management system. On our campus, we use Canvas. So I can upload any files I want. For example, I've uploaded all the assignment sheets for my class, the syllabus, and the schedule for this, this current term.